this castle we got us. But that was cool before. That made you happy before.
What do you think made the respect fade?
Man, the respect fade, just course over time. Because now, like, say a man cheated or a woman cheated, because I've been on both sides of it, to where I was with somebody, they cheated, I cheated, whatever.
And you stayed after you got cheated on?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, wow.
Yeah,
a lot of men don't say that.
Yeah,
so
I did.
What made you stay?
Because I knew the value was beyond that. My relationship wasn't based off a sexual thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew the value. It was more than that.
Interesting, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like every relationship shouldn't be based off of sex, but every relationship is based off of that.
I don't think so.
100%. You can't tell me nothing different. This is what I feel, and that's why I'll never be in another relationship, because it's always based off of that.
So you're not going to be in another relationship?
Hell no. For what? Because it's going to be based off the sex. Once that wear down, you're going to go find some.
I agree with Paul a little bit. In the sense of a lot of marriages or relationships usually is a statistic out there as well, that everything revolves around money, right? For the most part, right? Do you have the money or don't you have the money? Do you have the income? You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you having a high paying job and you get fired from that job, right? A lot of people will stick around for a little while, but they really trying to wait until you get another high paying job just to get back with you and be like, hey, I was here the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and it's actually proven with pro athletes as well, right? A lot of pro athletes, they're making millions of dollars, and 3-4 years after they're out of the league, after they're not making that big, crazy, millions and millions of dollars in their contract, a lot of them get divorced, and not because that they're a different person. They're just not making the funds that they once did, and the person that's with them was only with them just because of the status that they had, right? And then they just go on to the next one and just kind of keep going on and on and on. And now they might have kids with this person, and this person end up, getting money from them from being a baby mama or ex-wife, or, paying all these other stuff that they basically ended up having to pay. But I think sex for me would be second after money, because like I said, a lot of people, they basically just get divorced due to money, or they get divorced, or they were used to that person doing whatever that person wanted to do, and then now this person, like I said, isn't where they once were, and now they're like, you know what, I'm not putting up with this anymore due to that reason. So let's keep going.
Somebody else that's better. Yeah. It ain't going to be based off of... This is the thing, and listen carefully. Listen carefully.
I'm listening.
Relationships... Let me tell you what marriage is all about. Or let me tell you what marriage is. And who's marriage for. Marriage is for old people and poor people.
Okay, so let's get into that. Why?
Because when you broke, our parents, like my moms and all them, they married on a merit of like, okay, we're going to put our incomes together, have all these kids, and then when our kids, we're going to have 5, 10 kids. Back in the 60s, all them, they're going to have 5, 10 kids so they can work and bring income.
Yeah.
So, you poor. So you married for that. And now when you get old, somebody that to be on your side to take care of you. Right?
Paul, I do not agree with you with this one, big dog. Not fully. Not fully. I don't agree with you fully, right? I agree with you where you're saying, a lot of people end up getting married, are poor. People pull their resources together and try to make the best life that they can make together, right? Because I think for me, I'm married, right? Me and my wife, we've been dating for roughly... Well, we've been together for roughly 13 years, but we've been married for seven years. Anyways, make a long story short, we both went to college together, in a sense, and we both kind of built everything that we have together, right? And so for Paul, I can kind of see where, he's a multimillionaire, and he has a different perspective because it sounds like he probably done gone through a few things, in life, just due to relationships or whatever. But I agree that you bring your resources together, and I disagree where it's just poor people, right? Because you do have, I think it comes down to your status as well, right? Because some families, millions, they might have millions, they might have billions of dollars, right? They end up hooking their kids up and keeping the wealth within the family, right? And so they got married for a reason, and I think a lot of people looking at marriage as not understanding it's just a business, right? The older you get, you understand it's just a business, right? And so I think for him, the statement itself isn't correct because you have a lot of individuals that are wealthy that look into only marrying their kids with another family that is wealthy, right? You have individuals that might have health concerns, health issues, right? That might need somebody, they're not able to have a caretaker per se, right? They get married and this person ends up being that for them, right? So there's a lot of different reasons why people get married and everybody have a different reason to get married. But just to put a blanket statement out there, say like marriage is for poor people, I don't agree. But I do agree that marriage is a business, or marriage is like for certain reasons. You know what I'm saying? That part of it I do agree with. But just to say like it's for poor people or old people, that part of it I just don't agree with. But let's keep going.
Right now, my mom got married. My mom never been married in my lifetime. She got married when she was 70.
Wow.
It was perfect. She had somebody by her side the whole way through.
So do you?
I really believe that. Like, that's what, like, outside of that, it's no advantage to a man. Why is marriage advantage? What advantage? What does it do for a man when things go south? Like, we gonna have to give up half our this, pay child support, but what do it's only advantageous to a woman. Like, it's real talk.
But what if you meet
I
a
agree with
woman
that.
and you're like, wow, she's a gem, she's valuable,
We
she's
could be
everything, and I
together.
want to lock her down in marriage?
I don't want to lock no woman down. We could be cool
So you're telling me right now today,
today.
you on January 4th, you do not want to be in a relationship ever again?
I don't think it's realistic long term until I turn 70.
I am done.
Hey, Paul trolling, I think, with that one. I don't know. He could be telling the truth. He could be telling his truth, right? For me, and I've told my wife this straight up, like, if we were to ever get a divorce, I'm out of here. I'm not getting another marriage, I feel like, ever in my lifetime. And I think it's a big commitment. It's a huge commitment, of course. You're giving your life to this individual, but if we ever had a issue or a situation where we just both decided, hey, this is it, yeah, this is it for me as well. Like, I don't see myself doing it again. But overall, I agree with Paul on that statement. It was a book that was created, Men on Strike, Boycotting, like, is a long ass title. Men boycotting marriage, kids, school, and something else. I'll put the book down in the description as well, and just kind of talk about like why is not a good idea for men to get married or have kids or whatever. Right, all the things that Paul just went over, those aren't good reasons for men at this current state of the world, the way how the world's kind of set up at this point, right? Back in the day, it did matter because we were the only ones that were working, way back when, and the woman was not able to work and she would take care of the house and everything else, but women making, just as much or more than men. And the way how it's looking right now is the world is taking more than one paycheck or one situation to actually live and be comfortable, right? Just due to tariffs now and all these other things that's going on in the world. But I agree with him on this point. But the previous point, like I said, I don't fully agree. But let's keep on.
I've never been bored down with a fucking
I'm 47 right now. Until I turn 70, that's the only realistic part I see is because we both old. We ain't out in the streets. We at home watching TV. You gonna take me to the hospital. I'm gonna take you to the hospital.
Yeah.
That's it. But right now, I'm too cracking right now. So what I need to
Is
do
it
all that
because you
for?
feel like you
What I
have?
need to do all that for?
Would you marry a woman if she, or be in a relationship if it was open? Would you want to be in an open relationship?
No, I'm not looking to be out here having multiple partners because I don't do nothing anyway. I go do
Then what do you mean it's too cracking right now for you to want to have a relationship?
because I like my peace. First of all, I
What
like
if a
peace.
woman brings you that?
There's no such thing as that.
You don't think there's no such thing as a woman bringing
There's
man
no
peace?
such thing as somebody living with you on a day-to-day basis is bringing peace. There's always going to be something because you're going to have a bad day where I'll have a good day, and that's not going to be peaceful for me. I'm going to come home like, damn, baby, like, I had a good... Something going to happen to where you going to hijack my emotions. So that's not peaceful. You feel me? Peace is peace. And peace is me by myself. I come home, I watch TV, I make my own food, I go to bed, I work out, I wake up at 5:30, I roll over in the bed, I lean this way, I fart, whatever I do, whatever. In my bed, that's peace. I'm cool. I can let loud, snore, whatever. I ain't got nobody complaining about nothing.
Yeah, and I do feel you on that. Even as a woman,
You feel
for
me?
me, no,
I
I
agree
feel
with him
you.
on that.
Even
I
as a
definitely
woman,
agree
it's
with him on
like
that.
I have my stuff where I want it. I have my clothes where I want it. I put my stuff in the
Yeah,
bathroom.
when I come home, you move my charger, and I'm looking for my charger. Where my charger
Yeah.
at?
Oh,
like,
God.
damn, like, oh, I took it. Like damn. Like, come on, man.
But I
Blow
will
on me.
say this though, your perspective on relationships are quite negative, and for me,
It's not negative, it's realistic.
it's realistic, right? But there is a lot of positive things that you can gain from being with a partner.
Like what?
Partner to me, in one and one coming together is 11, which is a master
What's
number.
the
and it's more.
positive thing?
Let me
from
talk,
being-
and I'm gonna tell you.
All right, go ahead.
I think that if you're truly with someone that speaks life into you and gives you power and purpose before you go out into the world, that genuinely can help change the way that you move through life. You know
All right.
what I'm saying? Like, if you have a woman that is positive, that is motivational, that is nurturing, that
I agree with her on this part. You do have, if you find the right partner, it's not just about finding any woman out here in these streets, fellas and ladies. It's not just you accepting any proposal from any man as well, right? Like, both people have to really care and understand what the other person needs and wants and try their best to help that person, not just that person, but as a unit, right? You guys are together. Everyone is together. You have a family, right? And so if both people aren't on the same path or the same wavelength per se, then it's just not going to work. But you definitely need that person that'll speak life into you and just kind of help you with what you want to do in life as well. So I appreciate her for saying that.
really, really cares and loves for you in a deep way. A love from a woman is powerful. It can literally change everything. And I feel like you just have not got the opportunity to experience that yet. And I don't want you to count yourself out from having that, because it is possible.
So how?
So, just off of everything to this point, right? Y'all tell me in the comments what y'all think. If you agree with Paul Pierce, like I said, I agree in certain aspects, but I didn't agree with everything. For me personally, I feel like that's his truth, right? And the funny part is, like, that's his name, The Truth. But, I'm going to go ahead and put your comments down in the bottom of the description. I'm actually going to tag Paul Pierce in his new show, The Truth After Dark. And then we're just going to, see what your thoughts are. But this is my honest take. This is what I think. This is what I believe. And I definitely appreciate you guys. Please like, please subscribe, please share. Help us grow this channel. And let's be one of the best reaction channels that's out there as well. All right. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you for your time. Peace.